Hey, what's up, Street Talks? Eric and for the Eric and Street Photography blog. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can make more artistic photographs. So the first question a lot of people ask is photography art? Long story short, yes. I think art is all about expressing your inner spirit, expressing your inner soul, and putting things into creation which you want to see in the world. And I don't think there's such thing as good or bad art. It's just whether the art's personal or not. And so the best way to look at an artist is look at a child. So there's a saying by Picasso, every child is born an artist. The question is how to stay an artist as you grow up. So I want to give you some practical tips on how I think you could be more artistic as a photographer. So tip one, pay attention. The biggest issue that we all face today as artists is how to fight distraction. So I know, and especially in today's world, our phones are constantly vibrating. We're always checking our emails. We're always, playing games and looking at Instagram, and just always stimulating ourselves. And I think the best way to allow yourself to be more creative is to allow yourself to get bored. So my personal problem is I always have to be doing something, and if you're always stimulating yourself, you're never really going to give yourself the opportunity to allow yourself to get bored and to see the world and to pay attention. And so even for myself, often the best way to be more creative is just to sit on my butt and to just to think and wonder why is it that the world is the way it is? Why do trees grow that way? Why do I make photographs? Why? And one of the best ways to be more artistic is ask yourself the question why 5 times. And in terms of paying attention, I think in photography, one thing I like to do is just to always have my camera with me. So I'm currently shooting with a Ricoh GR2, P program mode, autofocus center point, ISO 3200 or 1600, and I just always have my camera at hand. And so this is one photo I made of Cindy in our apartment recently. We watched a movie. We were sitting on the couch, and I'm just like, oh, this is a nice moment with Cindy. So I just started making a bunch of photos. And she started to yawn and she made this expression. To me, it's just a very surreal photograph, and it captures something a little bit deeper. That's just not a pretty photograph. And Cindy actually said she liked it because it's not the standard image. And so an assignment you could do is allow yourself to get bored. So the next time you're waiting for the subway, for the bus, you're waiting in line at the grocery store, whatever it may be, put away your phone, maybe even turn it off completely, and allow yourself to get bored and just to look around. Tip 2, don't just look at photographs. There's a huge wealth of inspiration, creativity from hundreds, if not thousands of years back. So I've actually been trying to study really ancient art. So studying not even just the Renaissance, but even earlier than the Renaissance. So studying ancient pottery or ancient metalwork, studying sculpture, things that have been around not only for hundreds but thousands of years. And humans have been creating art since the beginning of time. And I think it's the reason why humans have created art is to find more inner meaning and purpose in life, and to contemplate, where do we come from? And so even like just one example of a Renaissance painter I've been studying is CARLO. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but what I love about his work is it's quite like this painting is quite surreal. Is you're not sure what the perspective is, because you're looking indoors and outdoors at the same time. And also I like this strong diagonal composition, and I think in terms of composition, we can actually learn a lot more from painters about perspective and colors and light and shadows than photographers. When I first saw this painting, it blew my mind. It's the use of perspective, leaving lines, obviously filling the frame. Painting of St. Thomas Aquinas. One thing that I find interesting is the center point of St. Thomas Aquinas' left eye, and the way he's holding the church and the book, and just the overall golden tones of the frame, and it's a very powerful painting. And so a practical assignment you guys could do is just study Renaissance painting. I am a big fan of Leonardo da Vinci, so just go on Google Images, look at Leonardo da Vinci, or just search him on Wikipedia and find some articles on him. Or even just Google Eric Kim Leonardo da Vinci. I've written some articles on him. And Raphael is fantastic, Michelangelo, so study the old school masters. Tip 3, create the art you want to see. We have no idea what our audience wants to look at, but we know what we like to look at. And so as a photographer, I like to try to create photos that I myself like looking at. And so, I mean, it's hard because we want to make photos that please our audience, and we get more followers and likes and whatnot. But nowadays, I really care less about that. I want to make photos that I know that other people are probably not going to like, but photos that I like to like. So this photograph of this old lady's hands. So in order to create this image, I burned or I darkened the edges of the frames completely. I painted away essentially anything that I found as a distraction. And some might perhaps say this photo is a little bit too over-processed, and I probably agree with them. However, for me, I look at the photograph, and to me it's powerful. I just see the story of this woman's hands. And I talked to this lady, I photographed her here in Hanoi. She told me she was like 94, 95, and once again, this hands is telling an incredible story. So I like looking at the photograph, so whether other people like it or not, it's less of a concern to me, but I know I like it. And so the assignment is make photos to please yourself. One good question to ask yourself before you upload a photo is to look at a photo and say, do I like the photo? And if I saw this photo in someone else's social media feed, would I like the photo or reshare it? Tip 4, let your soul sing. I think to know whether a photograph is powerful, artistic, or meaningful or not, look at the photograph and say, does this photograph affect my emotion, my mood, my soul? Does it force me to see the world in a different or unique way? And so this is an example of a photograph I made recently. Me and Cindy are inside an elevator, and I really like the lights on top. It just looked like stars, and I asked her to look up, and I just really love the catchlight in her eyes. And I think if you like a photo or not is if you look at the photograph more, do you like the photograph more or less? And so this is an example where the more I look at that photograph, the more I like it. And the assignment is photograph your loved ones. Often it's hard to make personal photographs of strangers. And even though I love street photography, I've been trying to take more meaningful photos, not just Cindy, but myself. So photograph your kid, your parents, your partner, anybody who you have a personal relationship with. Step 5, of course, have fun. I think the best artists to study are children because they just do it for the hell of it. They paint with their hands. They give them a box of crayons. They don't color inside the lines. And kids aren't like uploading their photos to social media and trying to get a lot of likes and followers. They just do it because it's fun, and it's a way for them to just have fun and to prevent boredom. And so I think the worst thing you could do in terms of creativity for a child is giving them an iPad because they're just kind of stuck inside a box or a screen. Rather, when I have kids or if I have kids, I want to give them a box of crayons and just let them doodle the hell out of it. I know I actually thank my mom a lot for my creativity because when I was a kid, she really encouraged me to make art. Send me to art classes, summer school for art. She would give me lots of paint brushes and crayons, and I just had fun. And so this is a photograph that Cindy made of me recently. We're just watching a movie late at night, and afterwards we're just kind of sitting on the couch and give her the camera. She just started making a bunch of photos of me. I did this hand gesture and she liked it. I think the cherry on top of that little detail is my mole on the bottom right side of my chest. It's a mole I had since I was a kid. So the assignment is, just when you're making photographs or creating art, just ask yourself, am I having fun? If you're not having fun, do something differently. All right, so these are the little lessons on how to make more artistic photographs. Ultimately, if you want to create more art, one thing I recommend doing is, I wanna be more creative as an artist or a photographer. Just go on the Googles, and I've been rewriting a lot of articles on art. So just Google Eric Kim art. You might find something. Actually, no, that's not me. ericKimPhotography.com/blog/art, or just Google Eric Kim the art of photography. So I've been doing a lot more articles on. You could just look at all these things on the Googles. I've been doing this series on my blog, ericKimPhotography.com/blog/art, art of photography. So crossing over ideas of art, photography, and so forth. And hopefully the reason I'm doing this video is to uplift your soul and your spirits. And so once again, keep making more art, be like a kid, have fun, and until next time guys, peace out.